Breaking news here on Martyn Lucas Investor, Tilray Brands. In this video, we're going to cover the latest news on Tilray Brands. Now, where do we see the price going? Often get accused for flip-flopping. Well, the markets flip-flop, news flip-flops, things, situations change. As an investor, I have to make sure I stay on the right side of it. Some news in today changes the landscape. However, doesn't change my investment strategy on Tilray, but we'll cover that right now. I've got one of my members who sent in some information and verified, and I think you're going to find it very, very interesting. So it's Tilray. What's going on with Tilray? It's popped up today, 10.83. We've seen this before. It often pops up on news and goes straight back down. Remember what happened when it bought the breweries? I took a profit, got criticized for doing it. How could you ever be wrong in taking a profit and then using that profit to buy AI, Tesla, and other things that were down at the time, which have now all gone up even more? It was, of course, the right thing to do. However, let's look at the news from Tilray today. You can see my position, as I always share. Unlike other YouTubers, I will share with you my actual position. I am out of the stock. I have one share in my brokerage, and I have one market share in my Roth. I am out of the stock right now. So what is going on? Should we be back in on the stock? Should I buy it? We'll have a little poll, perhaps. You could have a little vote whether I should buy it or not. This is the information that has just come to me from one of our members. So we're going to bring it to you now. This was provided by MSK, one of our verified members, and we've subsequently verified this information as well. The HHS recommended cannabis to be scheduled for a 3 drug. Now, we're going to explain what that means, but this recommendation has to now be reviewed and approved by the DEA. Remember how long we've been waiting to get all this news approved and the safe banking pass and all the rest of it. And Schedule 1 is illegal in every way, and cannabis, which is of course there, but now we're moving up to Schedule 3. The higher the scheduled number, the less dangerous the drug is deemed. So they are requesting now it gets moved to level 3. That certainly would help, of course. But the most important fact here is that at Schedule 3 or Schedule 3, depending whether you're English or American, cannabis would now be seen as having medicinal benefits, and cannabis companies can access banking facilities. That's what it's all about. The Safe Banking Act wouldn't be required in this scenario, okay? So that would speed things along. However, that has to be passed. And as we can see, Tilray is just selling a little bit at the moment. I'm not saying jump in. Now, we've got some more details, some more color to that. Tilray shares are trading higher by 16%. They've dropped back from where they were, of course, of 279. We're now at 265 Wednesday afternoon amid strength in the broader cannabis sector. Shares of cannabis stocks are trading higher following a report suggesting the Department of Health and Human Resources, HHS, which is what MSK confirmed, has called for moving marijuana to a lower risk drug category. Just because they've called it does not mean it's going to happen. According to a letter dated August 29th, seen by Bloomberg News, a high-ranking official from the Department of Health and Human Services has written to DEA administrators Ann Milgram, urging the reclassification of marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act. To have to be clear, this is just a letter, just a request. Of course, everyone's jumping on it now, telling me, buy it, buy it, buy it. No, not necessarily. This stock does pump and dump over and over again. We want to buy it when we know it's going up and staying up. This, unless you want to scalp trade it, of course. But right now, my money is making more money in Tesla and AI and solar and other things like that. This shift reflects a significant change as Schedule 1 substances include highly abused drugs like heroin, for example. The recommendation is informed by an FDA evaluation of marijuana's classification. The Controlled Substances Act categorizes substances based on medical usage, abuse, potential, and safety. So, of course, this is good news for the stock. However, it's nothing more than a letter being written asking for the classification to change. Is that a reason to jump in and buy the stock? No, the fundamental hasn't changed. The question is, and what you have to ask yourself, do you still believe that Tilray Brands is a good investment? And before you answer that, are you looking at it as, are you wishing to buy a brewery business? I'm not. I couldn't care less about a brewery business. There are other brewery businesses. I'd rather own Coca-Cola. Now you might say Coca-Cola is not a brewery business. It's in the drinks business, okay? There are other things I could buy. There are DraftKings. There are other things I could buy if I wanted to buy a brewery business. Now, Tilray have always been in the brewery business. They are Tilray brands of things related to their core fundamentals. However, that doesn't interest me. I see better opportunities in the market. The question should be is Tilray Brands the number one in the cannabis sector? Unquestionably, if you look at their balance sheet, if you look at the numbers, unquestionably, they are the number one in that sector. What makes Tilray Brands valuable is getting medicinal cannabis legalized fully in the United States. It's happening around the world, but as one of our members, Mo, just said, in Germany. But the big business is, of course, in the United States, and that can take the stock to $6 short term. And I've done the calculations based upon revenue, not just guessing, and $40. That's what could happen, which would be great. Right. However, that can take a long time. What we've got here today is an intent, a letter being written to the department asking for the classification to be changed, which would speed up. Obviously, what's trying to happen, we're trying to get things to move, and that would be good. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to buy it for $264 and your money goes sideways for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, forever? No one knows if it's ever going to get classified like that. Or make some money along the way and buy in. Now, you might make some money on Tesla or AI or something else in the meantime, come back, buy it for $5 and then go to 10. Does it matter if you still make 100%? The question is, do you want your money tied up in this now? Do you think it's going to get classified quickly? Do you think it's going to get passed quickly? If it does, of course, then great. Up she goes. But we got to remember, there are other companies, not similar, but similar problems. For example, Mullen makes great promises and never delivers. Lucid makes great promises, but never delivers. That doesn't guarantee that this is going to happen. Now, I would rather make 10% than risk and lose 20%. So the choice is yours. What do you think? I'd like you to give me your thoughts and comments below this video. Click above my head for more videos that you might enjoy in the series, and more links to my social media and our cash giveaway. We're giving $204 away next week. It's our biggest ever cash giveaway. Over here, you'll see the Tilray earnings and other information on Tilray, and down here, more information that I think you will find relative to Tilray. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.